Yo, what is up everyone? It's your boy Steel Mercenary here, and before we begin the video, I just want to say, hopefully you all are doing good out there and staying safe in these really crazy ass times. It's getting really wild out there, and for good reason. Everyone has the right to be mad as to what happened to George Floyd. Rest in peace to him, who was murdered. And hopefully after this, pretty much change can finally happen and we don't have to see this anymore. So that's pretty much all I gotta say on my part for this. I could say more, but I can go on and on, but I just want to continue on with the video. So without further ado, let's talk about Battlefield 5, shall we? So in today's video, pretty much it's gonna be a Battlefield video, and in this you're gonna see me obviously play Battlefield 4, and the reason for that is because, well, I don't play Battlefield 5 anymore. Why? Well, Battlefield 5 is obviously it's trash, and with that, I pretty much in this video I just want to explain what went wrong and what my speculations are for the next Battlefield 6 and what I hope it has. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's get into as to why Battlefield 5 failed. So overall, what went wrong? Well, to begin, it's pretty simple. Pretty much bugs, glitches, terrible servers, awful balancing, awful time to kill, stutters a lot, hackers. DICE has always been known to take 2 steps forward, and it's also been known to take 3 steps back, at least after this game. And when I'm talking about bugs and glitches, pretty much I'm talking about invisible players, reloading bugs, assignment tracking issues, infinite loading screens. Like when I first was experiencing that, I thought, it was just me, because at that time I had some pretty garbage ass internet, but I noticed throughout the most videos I see, everyone had that. So I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one. And pretty much it was really frustrating and just did not make the game fun for me. I didn't like that. That's not how a game should play out. Normally Battlefield has tend to fix their games. Usually when it comes to release, it's always buggy, so to me it was nothing new, but it continued on as the game progressed. Pretty much they would fix it, but they would break more, and it was just out of hand. And to me, the people who just suffered the most was pretty much the loyal player base, such as myself, who been playing Battlefield games since Battlefield 3 came out, and that was an amazing game. Some people have been playing Battlefield since Battlefield 2 Bad Company, and that was a good game too. So people like us who've been playing this game for a long ass time are just not happy with this product. It just failed. It didn't hit right. It was just nothing but wasted potential. That's all I can say. And as for terrible servers, to me, there was no good servers at all. Like they were trash. And sometimes there would even be some servers nowhere near my location. When I would try and find a random game, it thinks the best server for me in my area would be somewhere a lot farther from me when there's one close to me. So I never understood that at all. And as for the time to kill, Jesus, I don't know how you messed that up. It's very simple, but I guess it did not pan out. They fixed it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they released another version, the latest patch of it, and it just ruined it again. And so it was just bad overall. Like at this point, you were just running around, all of a sudden you just die normally, but in their screen it looks like they were pumping a whole lot of bullets in you, but on your screen it looked like you just got tapped once and you just died out of nowhere. So that was just awful. And for the stuttering, it's pretty much, it also ties in with the awful servers and the bugs and glitches. And also one of the main problems that was also hackers was a huge problem. I couldn't tell you enough how many times I actually run into hackers in Battlefield 5 when I was playing at the time. Some people were using aimbots, but I think in their Battle Royale mode, what was it called? Firestorm, I remember? Yeah, that was infested with hackers. It was not playable whatsoever, and it was dead after that. And when it comes to awful balancing, pretty much that also ties in with team balancing as well. It was just bad. Like one team would just completely get dominated, and the other team would just have no one good. I'm not asking for skill-based matchmaking, but they at least have put an effort to balance out the teams. In other words, put in the good players from the last game into separate teams and just match them, pretty much give each side a helping hand and at least some way to defend the objective or play the objective. I can't tell you how many times I got into breakthrough matches and my team just cannot attack for anything. No matter how much I try, we just could not break through. And in some situations, we just couldn't defend. Like it was very frustrating, and it's just not fun when you want to be in a game and no one is literally, you're just getting it's a one-sided thing. It's not really fun at all. Like it's not. And also one of the main problems with that too is also vehicles were also a problem. One being how to pretty much get in a vehicle, to be honest. Like I miss the sandbox theme from Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, where you would spawn into the map and whoever gets to the tank first, pretty much right after you spawn, gets a tank. And you don't have to take a tank if you don't have to. For me, it just seemed impossible for me to even get a tank. And for most people, whoever has the fastest internet to get into the lobby, to get into the game first, gets a tank first. And sometimes I would hardly ever get into a tank. It was just frustrating at all. And I don't know why they have that ever since Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 I was okay with because the game was actually good. But Battlefield 5, it just made it stupid. And with that, they're not even balanced either. And that's also stupid as well. Like, and the people who would get into these tanks or vehicles at all were not helpful at all. When it comes to helping the team, they're zero help. Wanna know why? Because all people would do is just sit on a hill with a tank, just killing loads of people and not even attack the objective. At least in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, people made them useful. In other words, people would actually push the objective and try and break through. Like, they were a big factor. And Battlefield 5 could just not do that. Like, tanks were just, you would just make the most OP'd setup for a tank, and it would just, you would sit on a hill. You don't even have to push the objective. Occasionally they will, but after that they would not do anything else. So of course, team play is not even in this game when basically this game's selling point was team play. And also what killed it for me was the lack of content. And by that I mean, a good example would be how Call of Duty Modern Warfare is always making week-to-week updates, always putting new stuff out there for everyone to have. Battlefield just couldn't do that, and it's make no sense, because okay, how is this a community game if you're not going to make regular updates? It would just take years and years for us to even just wait for like a new map, while Call of Duty is making us is giving us content pretty much on a weekly basis. So pretty much the difference between them is Battlefield 5 literally has 0 to no content for us to play and enjoy, and to keep us sticking to the game. Yeah, they did a pretty good thing when they added the Pacific Theater, and it was great, but that's where the content pretty much stopped. And when I heard that there are going to be no more updates and nothing else, going to be no more attention put into the game, it pretty much say, alright, well, that's on them. They failed us all. And for me, the next problem that I had with this game was pretty much customization. And what I mean by that is pretty much there wasn't much you can do when it comes to customization. Like, you couldn't really mod out your gun that much unless you say bought something from like their little store, but that's about it. Like, there's not much customization when it comes to weapons. Character wise, it's really dumb. Like, when the first trailer released, we saw that one chick with a prosthetic arm, and people just didn't look like they were fighting in World War II. It looked totally different. It made no sense. And if you're gonna say that, if you're gonna market your game as an authentic World War II game, at least make it historically accurate. Like, come on. Listen, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to put women into a game, but at least put them into like a faction where they actually did have women fight on the front lines. In other words, the Free France Resistance, I knew there was women who were fighting in that part of the war, and also the Soviet Union had women fighting in the front lines as well. Like, you could at least put them in that factions, but last time I checked, there wasn't women fighting in the Japanese Imperial Army, and last I checked, there also wasn't German or French resistance soldiers fighting in the Pacific Theater either. So I don't know how you can mess that up, because when you can buy operators, or I think that's what they call them, you can play them anywhere on the game. So it just seems so weird seeing a German soldier as an American on Okinawa, or seeing a French resistant soldier on Okinawa as a Japanese soldier. It just made no sense. So overall, this game was just not fun to play, and I just got extremely over it. It wasn't fun at all, and I hated it. Like, it just did so many wrongs, and the way how this game tried to market itself, it just failed. And it also doesn't help when you have the developers saying, alright, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Okay, so you're just gonna flip off your entire fan base? Alright, man, cool with you, I guess. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my experience with Battlefield 5. It was not fun at all whatsoever. Hated it. It played well in certain areas. There were some good moments, but just didn't play well. Content was hard to come by nowadays. It was just bad all around. So pretty much for this next part of the video, I kind of want to talk about what is to come for the next Battlefield game. And I don't know what it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be called Battlefield 6. We all know it. But lately, I've been seeing some, I saw a video the other day from a guy named, a YouTuber named Westy. Go check him out. I'll put his channel in the link in the description. But from him, he says how there's a possibility that, again, it's just a rumor, but the source that he got it from was a kind of reliable source. So pretty much what they were saying is Battlefield 6 or whatever it's going to be called, obviously going to be set in a Modern Warfare set era. With that, DICE will have more freedom to do whatever the hell they want. But with that, pretty much the next Battlefield game they're going to do is a remastered of Battlefield 3. I don't know about you all, but I would be totally down if they have that. I would be really happy, because Battlefield 3 is such a nostalgic game. You played so well. I remember having a blast when that game came out, man. That's the game I jumped on after Modern Warfare 3 pretty much had a little franchise fatigue, and it made me jump into Battlefield 3. And when I played Battlefield 3, I heard so many people talking so many goods about it. I'm like, okay, let me just try it out. And I played it, and I was like, oh my god, they were right. It was such an amazing game. It was such a fun experience. I couldn't tell you how many times I enjoyed hopping onto Firestorm and try and race to get a helicopter or get into a tank and try and run out there. They pretty much perfected what we all know as a sandbox game. It was amazing. It played so well. And they also had some smaller maps too, or at least some condensed versions when it comes to certain game modes like Team Deathmatch. But pretty much, I just loved that game. It was just so, it works, it would make sense. I think it would work out pretty fine because, well, in case you haven't known, Infinity Ward sort of pulled that move on us with Modern Warfare Remastered. It's just a rumor, and I'm pretty sure it most likely won't happen. It would be cool if it did. I wouldn't mind it, but pretty much Battlefield 6 is most likely going to be a Modern Warfare set era game. So hopefully it's a good game. I'm all for it. I think it's time for Battlefield to go back to the Modern Warfare set era. I mean, Call of Duty just did, so it would make sense to, and I would be totally fine with that. I'm pretty sure, I just hope they don't make the same mistakes they did with Battlefield 5, since Battlefield 5 was a game with high potential, but just totally failed. So that's pretty much it, and I'm pretty much done talking about this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave on just a little bit more time with me playing. I will try and get back into live commentating pretty much hopefully by Thursday or Wednesday are my days off, because I usually work a lot. Those are usually my free days I have, so hopefully I will get back into live commentary gameplay. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be with Battlefield, mostly Call of Duty. I don't know, since right now Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2 game is going to be out for free. I might want to play that. I don't know. Let's see how my storage is after this update. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, and of course have a nice day.